What's up YouTube? Agent Zero here, and today I'm going to be comparing the West of Sunfall 7 and the Better Devils, two legendary hand cannons in Destiny 2. First I'll talk about some of the stats, then we'll get into the gameplay and perks, then I'll finish up by telling you my opinions on these two guns. First, the stats. These two guns have their max stability on. The Better Devils has a stability masterwork, and with that being said, the West of Sunfall has better range, stability, RPM, and clip size, while the Better Devils has better impact, handling, and reload speed. Some hidden stats that I always like to mention are inventory size and aim assistance, both of which are slightly higher on the West of Sunfall than the Better Devils. Let's talk about the main perks of each of these weapons. West of Sunfall has auto-loading holster, which grants the gun to be automatically reloaded after being holstered for a short time. This can definitely be useful in the heat of battle, especially when facing hordes of enemies. You run out of ammo with the West of Sunfall, switch to another weapon, use that for a tiny bit, then switch back to the West of Sunfall and it's automatically reloaded. This can definitely come in handy when facing hordes of enemies, as I just mentioned. Better Devils has a main perk that most people love: Explosive Payload. Explosive Payload creates an area of impact upon detonation. This is definitely one of my favorite perks in the game, as it can cause damage to multiple enemies with one shot, and can cause extra damage on one enemy with just one shot. A very useful perk to have regardless of what you're doing in the game. We've talked about the stats, we've talked about the main perks. It's time to get into the subjective part of the review, where I give my opinions on these two weapons and which one I prefer and why. One thing I want to mention before we get into the PvE and PvP categories is that the Better Devils is your typical hand cannon. It fires and has recoil of what we normally expect a hand cannon in Destiny to have. West of Sunfall's recoil is a little different than your normal hand cannons. It can definitely take some time getting used to before you start using it. But that different recoil is what creates the better stability that the West of Sunfall has. So you may actually not like the increased stability on the West of Sunfall versus the Better Devils. That's just a matter of opinion. It's definitely something that you will have to get used to. You'll have to try out the West of Sunfall. Maybe you'll get used to the recoil, maybe you won't. Maybe you just prefer that typical hand cannon feel when you have that recoil. Now that we've talked about that, let's talk about PvE. As mentioned earlier, both of these guns have decent PvE perks that come in handy in different situations. However, auto-loading just can't compete with Explosive Payload in my opinion. It can be an okay perk at times, but I don't like having to holster my weapon to get the full effect of my gun. On top of that, West of Sunfall feels underpowered at times. For a gun that has a lot more stability, it just doesn't pack the kick that I'd like to see in a hand cannon. My PvE edge goes to the Better Devils. For PvP, we have pretty much the same results. West of Sunfall just feels underpowered. While it does have a faster rate of fire and is a lot more stable, you're going to have to get used to that recoil that I just mentioned. On top of that, due to the pretty big map sizes and smaller team sizes, auto-loading just isn't needed. Better Devils has the kick I definitely want when using a hand cannon in PvP. Better Devils gets my PvP edge. Overall, West of Sunfall just can't compete with the Better Devils in my opinion. West of Sunfall is definitely something different with a new type of recoil for a hand cannon. It can be good in certain situations, but ultimately, Better Devils just outclasses the West of Sunfall in most cases. Well, what do you think about these two guns? What guns would you like to see me compare next? Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more Destiny 2 content. Well, until next time. Peace!